All right, welcome back everybody to the Business of Enterprise IT, a podcast from InfoSystems. And today's episode is a second part of a previous conversation with Eric Herzog, Chief Marketing Officer of IBM Storage. And if you have not yet viewed the previous episode, you're going to definitely want to take the time to watch that. Eric talked a lot about conceptual storage, the new tools that are coming out, the kind of the processes that businesses need to have top of mind right now to make sure their data is protected and used and backed up and recoverable, and all of those top of mind topics. Fantastic information, but now we're going to talk about some stuff that's been going on recently at IBM. And Eric, I know the last few weeks have probably been really calm and absolutely nothing going on with you, right?
Well, that could be said. We had a incredible new product released in our Flash Systems family of storage arrays. This product delivers unparalleled performance. So regardless of your application, your workload, or your use case, you've got the right performance you need to always be competitive. It also provides incredible resiliency and availability. Again, today's customer is in the digital world is 365, 24/7. So your storage needs to be that critical foundation, regardless of how you've created your IT infrastructure, whether you're a traditional IT shop, whether you've gone to a virtualized environment, whether you're embracing the cloud. Storage is that critical foundation, just like you must have a solid foundation to the building, whether you've got a factory, a retail outlet, an office building. If you don't have a good foundation to your building falls down. And storage is that critical foundation for any type of business, large, medium, or small, and whatever your type of applications, workloads, and use cases are. If you do not have the right storage underneath, just as if you don't have the right engine in the car, then guess what? The car may not be very powerful, may not work very well. And that's what storage does for your applications, your workloads, and your use case. Provides that critical foundation, just like you would need for any building you would need for your company.
Yeah, and I know, so the recent announcement that has been all over social media and all of the media outlets and things like that related to IBM storage is the new Flash 9100. And we'll get a little more into that particular product. But I know all Flash, although the Flash 9100 is sort of a new product announcement, Flash is nothing new to IBM. You guys have been doing Flash for a long time.
IBM has been doing Flash for years and years. Flash is what was new 7-8 years ago. Flash is now old hat.
Yeah.
You look at people who track sort of what's shipped out there from an IT perspective. People track storage just like they track servers and networking. And right now, what are known as all flash arrays are close to 50% of global shipments. So, when it's a primary workload, okay, a database, your AR, your accounts payable, your accounts receivable, all of your financial information, your customer resource database, all the things you're doing from a logistics perspective, supply chain, all kinds of things. Regardless of that, all of that belongs on an all-flash array. And that all-flash array, of which we have several, the 9100 being our newest one, those all-flash arrays give you the right type of performance that you need, the right type of resilience and availability that you need, and the right type of software you need to keep your business up and running and provide that critical foundation. At the same time, also give your applications and workloads the performance they need in an era where, if an application is slow, workers are wasting time. Or if an application is slow, for example, let's take financial trading. If you're a trader in any sort of industry or in the commodities market, if you trade slow, if your computers are slow, your trade is slow. And guess what? Someone else just won that deal, not you. So those are all the types of critical solutions that Flash is good for. And we have a whole family of Flash products that vary by price point. You can have, even if you're in a cost-sensitive company, guess what? You can have all Flash, and that will deliver application performance of at least 10 times not 10%, at least 10 times better than what you're getting today. For everything that you've got on your networks and on your computers, it'd all be faster. And then can be factored into solutions that fit on a mainframe environment, solutions that are ideal for cloud deployments, solutions that are great for virtual environments, solutions that are good for big data analytics and artificial intelligence. So what we do is we've got the right tool for the right job at IBM Storage. And what it is working with your teams, you can solution architect for your end users what is the right solution and what is the right price point, and they can all get the power and the benefit of Flash delivers to their applications and to their business.
Before we get on to a couple of the other topics that I want to hit in this episode, one of the most common benefits of Flash that I hear, and it's pretty obvious, is the increased performance versus the other storage technologies. What other types of impact can Flash have on an IT department beyond just performance increase of applications?
Well, one of the key things is cost savings. Okay, depending on the software you've got on that, for example, IBM has software on almost all our flash arrays that allows you to automatically move data out to clouds, automatically saving you time and money. You don't have to spend your time doing it, right? It also has software in some of our product lines, such as our Flash System 9100, that allows you to manage other people's storage. So if you've got storage for multiple suppliers, we can dramatically cut your costs. We can provide things like encryption technology, data reduction technology on arrays that are not ours, that are from our competition. So it's an easier and simplified way to manage things. We've also incorporated artificial intelligence into our storage solutions that allow them to be very heavily self-managed and self-running, which means that saves money on IT. And then probably one of the big impacts of all flash arrays is its impact across your entire data center. So let's take an example. So we have several public references where they're running a certain workload. For example, one was a SQL workload. And in order to make that workload run on a traditional infrastructure that is non-flash, it required almost 100 servers to run it.
Wow.
When they went to all flash, they went to 10 servers. So they just took 90 servers out of the equation. So what was the benefit of that? Let's see. First of all, there's a cost to manage a server, roughly $1,500 a year, according to analysts that cover the server world. So let's see. So it's $1,500 a year times 90 that you just saved on management. You've saved on physical rack space. You've saved on physical floor space. You've saved on operational expenses besides manpower, because guess what you have to do? You have to power and cool and stack. So all of that just shrank dramatically. And you've made it more resilient. Anyone who remembers their stats from high school, if you have 100 servers in your mix, even though they're highly available, you have that many more physical entities like power supplies, fans, cables, etc., that are in and around those servers that can fail. So when you take it from 100 down to 10, you just also increase the resiliency and availability of your server infrastructure, and a lot less can fail. So all of those things. So what Flash does is not only give you a financial advantage at your application and workload level, but actually has a dramatic impact on the actual cost of your data center, whether it be a traditional data center, a cloud data center, or virtualized data center. So Flash allows you to save big money on servers, big money on IT headcount and IT workloads, for what your guys have to do to manage the storage, can save you dramatically on operational expenses such as power, rack space, physical floor space, especially if you're leasing or using a colo, right? The less space you have, the cheaper it is. And if you have your own data center, if you're on the upper mid to the big size where you've got your own data centers in-house, that's all your floor space. That's all your power costs. That's all your cooling bills, and just saved on that as well. So whether you've outsourced or using something like a colo, or whether you're doing it yourself, the impact of Flash is not just at the application workload level where its performance is unparalleled, anywhere from 10 times to certain workloads as much as 500 times. And we've got public references that talk about 500 times better performance. But more importantly, you can save big money across your entire server, network, and data center infrastructure, and that means time and money in your pocket.
So we have a sales position open here at InfoSystems. Would you like to apply? So one of the things with the Flash 9100 specifically, One of the things I'm seeing the branding behind that new device is multi-cloud. Can you explain the whole concept of how IBM is leading the journey to multi-cloud with the Flash 9100?
Sure. So one of the things we've done different from what we've done historically, and certainly what our competitors do, is we have included a whole set of multi-cloud enabled software when you get the storage center and you work with a public cloud provider. So you've got hybrid. And then you've got people, particularly in certain sectors where they're concerned about security, whether that be the government, whether that be the financial sector in various subsegments of the financial marketplaces, where they feel they need what's known as a private cloud. So in a private cloud config, you get all the benefits of using IBM Cloud or Microsoft Azure or Amazon, except it's your own cloud. You control it, who goes in and who goes out. You have the same flexibility, the same agility of moving resources around and moving workloads around that you would if you were using a public cloud provider such as IBM Cloud. But you make a private cloud, so you have advantages from multi-cloud, whether you're going private or hybrid or public. Then the other advantage that you have, and what's starting to happen, is the cloud is old. I know people think the cloud is new. The cloud used to be called the Internet. Internet's been around since my kids were born, and my eldest kid is 28 years old, and there was the Internet already. And actually, it was the Internet before then. Cloud is just another way to consume the Internet in a more active fashion versus just looking at, a website to buy clothing or to look at a movie, okay? And the cloud is just, if you will, an interactive way to leverage Internet technology, now known as cloud. So given that the cloud is more mature, what you're seeing in many companies is the guy making this all on his own. Now the procurement team is involved, and they're saying, well, we noticed that you used IBM Cloud last year, but you are making sure you're getting competitive bids. And so in the mid-sized and definitely in the large size, we are seeing companies that use actually multiple public cloud providers. So they've got some business with IBM Cloud, some business with Microsoft, and some business with Amazon. And that could be due to legal reasons. For example, in certain countries, the data cannot leave the physical confines of the boundaries of that country. So if IBM Cloud has a data center in that country, but Microsoft does not, then even if that company had preferred Microsoft, guess what? They can't use it. There's no data center there. And they have a law that says the data has to stay in. You also have large entities that are divisionalized, where division one uses IBM Cloud and the other division uses Amazon. So we're seeing that. And we're also seeing varieties and verities by region. So for example, it could be the Asian offices all use IBM Cloud, the European offices all use Amazon, and the North American offices are split between IBM Cloud and Microsoft. So when you're dealing with larger companies, it's often common for them to use multiple cloud providers. The good thing is the Flash System 9100 and its multi-cloud enabled software can work with anyone's cloud. It can work with IBM Cloud. Of course, we love that, of course, since we're IBMers, but at the same time, we're realists, and with all this multi-cloud technology going on and these multi-cloud decisions, if a company wants to have some of their data sitting in Microsoft Azure, some of their data with Amazon, and some of their data with IBM Cloud, IBM Storage can deliver that to that end user. So that's how you see multi-cloud. A, the use of multiple public cloud providers, and again, B, what are known as public, private, and hybrid clouds, which are all, if you will, sort of different configurations of clouds. And with IBM's Flash System 9100, we can support all of those because of the software we've embedded on our storage solution when we ship it to you.
That's great. And I know there are a lot of resources that IBM has made available to business partners about the new Flash 9100, and so I'll make sure, along with this podcast episode on our website and blog and everything, to link to or provide documents and downloads to some of that information, so anyone who's interested in looking into that further would have the resources right there at hand to dig in a little deeper.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all over IBM.com.
Yeah.
For example, IDC, one of the leading analyst firms, just wrote an outstanding write-up about the Flash System 9100. We have webcasts that your customers can participate in, and also we do, physical events still. So we go to things like a VM World in Las Vegas, or an Oracle World Show in San Francisco. So if they're going to those shows, we'll be featuring the 9100 in our booth. They can come play with it. They can see a demo of all this multi-cloud software that I talked about, and they can see it hands-on, if you will. So if they come to one of these shows, we'd be more than happy to host them at our booth. Just let us know, and be more than happy to show them what we've got. We also have things like online demos that you can sign up for. Info can get you all signed up with one of those demos with the Info team and our team, and they could do an actual demo of a Flash System 9100 working, so you can see it, in this case not live, but live over the internet, if you will, live over the cloud, versus live at a physical event. But we can feature it either way. So we'd love to have the clients that are on this podcast and listening engage with you, and we could set that up, whether it be a physical, like at a VMworld, or whether that be a virtual, like getting one of the demos from our demo centers in Washington, D.C. and Montpellier, France, where we can do that online.
Yeah, and thanks for the plug there. I was going to bring this up next, the fact that InfoSystems, as an IBM Platinum partner, and definitely really high on the IBM storage competency, we're usually part of those events. We're attending the IBM conferences and the road shows and the workshops, and we're partners with these other companies too, the VMwares of the world and a lot of these other technologies where you all have a presence. We're probably there too, not with a booth as big as IBM's, but we usually have people in attendance. We invite customers to come along, or people who are looking into these new technologies. So I would just invite anyone listening who has an interest in exploring IBM storage, all flash, the Flash 9100, any one of these topics that we've talked about. We can either get you involved in an event that's already planned that IBM will be participating in. We can accompany you and oftentimes help defer the cost of attending those events. Or we can set up something ad hoc and do. We have plenty of IBM contacts who are there to help us, like you said, solution for our customers to look at what you've got today, your ideal state, the areas you need to address, and architect the right system for where you're at and where you want to get to. The resources that IBM provides us are amazing. And so as a premier partner, that, it's one of the reasons we've maintained our level of partnership for, I would imagine, 25 years now or longer. InfoSystems has been around for 25 years and has been an IBM partner for the entire time. So as we continue our relationship with IBM, we're very appreciative that your team brings us resources and opportunities to share information and allow our customers to get involved, to learn, to demo, and to make wise decisions for their IT environment. So after that plug for IBM and InfoSystems, I figure I would just leave it to you to add any additional comments before we sign off on this episode. And let me go ahead and say that I'm really appreciative that you took the time to spend talking on our podcast today. And I will also provide links to your other videos through IBM's YouTube channel and through your social media and all of the things you do to share information with the general public about IBM and your line of storage products. So any last comments, Eric?
Yeah, I think the key thing here, it's all about the right tool for the right job. And at IBM, we make sure that we can deliver the right flash solution for the big company, the medium company, the small company. We don't just put together a box like some of our competitors do. We imbue it with a lot of software that gives you real value, such as our multi-cloud enabled technologies that allow you to use the cloud in conjunction with the storage that you may have on site. So I think it's a critical thing for the customers that are listening to this to contact InfoSystems, see about a webinar, see about a show, have them come visit you, because we've got the right solutions for you, big, medium, or small, and we make sure that we tailor those to the right applications and workloads that you have to drive your business and be more successful.
Great. And again, thank you so much for joining us today. Eric Herzog, CMO of IBM Storage. And we look forward to future opportunities to engage your team through our podcast and other ways that we do events together and partner with IBM. But with that said, I'll sign off, and thanks for listening.